Hello. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call this channel yet, but you call me Pine for now. Anyways, I want to talk about my ideas for Subnautica 3. Yes, it's been announced, kind of. They're not sure what they're gonna go with yet because they want to make sure they have solid foundation. At least that's what I've heard. But these are what ideas I have. In the background is just me playing Subnautica with really bad quality. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's so bad. And I have mods on, so just ignore that. I'm not the biggest Subnautica expert. I had to look up the name Planet 4546b, which is where Subnautica is based out of. But here are my ideas. Okay, the start of the game, we're gonna have you start in a ship in space. Now, it could either be you're in a cargo caravan, you're in a battle or something where there's multiple ships around. Then a pulse from the planet you're near doesn't have to be planet 4546b. Though a lot of people probably want that since, you know, Below Zero is also on the same planet. But my idea, it takes away from that. But anyways, a pulse comes out of the planet, and it causes all the planets start falling towards the atmosphere of this planet. And what this allows us to do is, if there's multiplayer, which I've heard there's going to be, but again, speculation. Depending on how many people are on the ship when it starts, how much people are in multiplayer, it makes you start in different ships. The bigger the people are on the ship, the bigger the crew, the bigger the ship, the more supplies you start with to compensate. So it makes sense. Now, I say if this was a battle, how are we going to avoid weapons? Because weapons are always a big thing they have always wanted to avoid in these type of games. Well, I'm gonna turn down my thing. Anyways, sorry, this is really bad quality. It's the first time I'm ever recording, and I'm just really learning everything, and I don't feel like editing right now. To avoid weapons in the game, we could say the EMP blast that knocked out the ships also destroyed all weapons, and all PDAs were reset to civilian grade, effectively making it so you could only make what civilians can make, and all weapons are off limits since they're back to civilian presets. So even scanning a weapon, it'd be like error or something. Now, going back to what I started about being a large crew or a large amount of people starting like caravan or in battle, this allows a crap ton of ships to be found with a whole bunch of PDAs, a whole bunch of stories between all the ships, so you can explore all the different types of ships, give story to the game, as well as a lot of different craft materials. You could have different cultures. You could legitimately have different types of vehicles, different designs. You can find like maybe they both have two different types of Cyclopses, but one is slightly different from the other, like Cyclops version 5 versus version 5A or something. I don't know. I'm bad at that. I could have just said a different number, but but yeah, it allows lots of blueprints and stories of these ships. Now, another thing I want to do is possibly larger islands make above ground a big part of the game as well as below ground. I know it's called Subnautica, but I know people think underwater, but you could also make it underground, make it cave systems people go down. Make it so there's land terrain, there's water that you have to go through land to get to. Crap like that. The main quest will probably be Sorry, I'm just kind of skipping through things. I'm just looking at my notepad and trying to get these points across. But the main quest will probably be you turning off the thing that is pulsating and destroying any type of ship that gets into orbit. It's not fucking it's sorry, I didn't mean to cuss there. It's not destroying ships like the cannon is, but it's effectively making cannons in orbit non-functional. You say this is much like the Subnautica 1, where you have a disease, but this is that you can't. This is more you can't reach it, and it could be something that wasn't even designed to do this. It could be like a energy factory that's like malfunctioning from the what's it called, the prefector race, or it's called. I'm really bad at remembering names of stuff. Then the thing about there could be many quests, but I say quests, but like PDAs that send you different places where it doesn't have to be the end of the story. It could end somewhere else, but it also gives you a big reward. Anyway, those are my main ideas for Subnautica 3. Here's some bonus ideas I had down. Okay, first are more suits, more suit options, fins, and like clothing. Radiation suits, of course. That's already in the game, but repairing or healing suits that heal you slowly. Maybe you have to stay still for it to take effect. Emergency flotation suit. This will be good for early game and people who want to play in hardcore mode and want to go deeper locations. This will also save up a inventory slot in case you are wanting to not carry one of the bladder things around. And then there's a bright suit. This will like glow the area around you, so you don't have to carry a flashlight around with you. Those are just some examples. Then there's some fins. I only thought of one right now, but a fin that leaves residue to ward off enemies. So you're less likely to aggro, and it will ward off medium-sized enemies to small size, but Leviathans probably would not care. Of course, more vehicles. People want those vehicles found on those ships. Land ones too, if we're gonna make a whole bunch of land places, islands. Some may be designed for more a person or two. Others will need crew to keep things running. I'm not sure how that will be implemented, because kind of Cyclops takes care of all things, but just one person being in charge. But maybe like you can make it so reloading is to reload, somebody has to reload manually. Repairing will have to take a part in all parts of the ship, so maybe the submarine getting attacked is more of a thing that happens and more of a threat, so somebody has to be constantly repairing it. Anyways, now my next thing is weapons. I know I said weapons will be disabled, but I'm not talking about those weapons. I'm talking about primitive weapons. Spears, tasers, even non-lethal weapons. I know spear's lethal, but taser's a non-lethal weapon. But that the taser staggers with the spear, like underwater spear guns and stuff, where it's primitive made, so it's not as effective, but you know, it's practically like the repulsion cannon. Is that what it's called? I can't remember, I rarely use it. Anyways, use that to kill creatures underwater. Now next thing I want to put is sea glider mods, or different, maybe a smaller, you could build a smaller sea glider. it makes it either go faster, or maybe it gives the sea glider a little inventory pouch or something. Just general upgrades for the sea glider. And then maybe another idea I had is add more difficulties. Maybe one with illness or food poisoning. Like, you have to make sure what you're eating is actually edible. I never want a time strain in this game, though. Time strains are really bad. But again, if it's optional, that would be okay. However, sleep would be an interesting concept in this game. Enforcing sleep where your character will become drowsy, slower if he hasn't slept. Of course, this will be optional. Any difficulty tweak should be optional. Forcing these things will be annoying to the player. Next thing I really like is maybe have an active above water volcano, because you see the vents underground, you see lava underground, but it'll be interesting to see a volcano above ground with the possibility of an eruption event. That would be cool to see. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but hell, you can even make a sulfur volcano, so it'll be blue lava, because those do exist in real life. There's one on Earth. Then my last point I want to make is multiple endings. If there was multiple endings to Subnautica, I would... Subnautica 3. I will bring more of a incentive to play again, try different play styles, and see what the world has to offer. And I don't just mean like good or bad ending. I mean like each ending could be considered good or bad. It's just the ending. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't know. I'm getting a tangent. Anyways, those are my general ideas for Subnautica 3. Most of this hinges on it not being on planet 4546b. And a lot of people might not like that, saying, oh, we're not going to get the same creatures we used to get. Well, what you could do is have the precursor race bring over some of the creatures from the other planet to this planet, because some of them are not indigenous there into 4546b anyways. Those are my ideas. Thanks for watching this video. Sorry for the horrible quality, but those are my ideas. My throat is now dry. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.